Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Black Girls Living. You're joined with Vic.
And Jazz.
And we have an amazing special guest in the building. Do you want to introduce yourself to the people? Tell the people who you are.
Sure. My name's Vanessa. My artist name is Vivi Brown. And I'm a musician, writer, and wannabe Renaissance woman, or trying to be Renaissance woman, hustler.
Do you know what's so cool? Like, you came here and it's so interesting seeing how celebrities and musicians are. Because when you introduced yourself to Brent, you were like, I'm Vanessa. And I was like, Brent, do you don't know who this is? Like, this is a celebrity.
Oh, no, I'm not. I don't know. I kind of said Vivi afterwards,
Yeah,
but I think I just wanted to, I don't know, like, not come into like bougie in that.
Yeah,
like,
do you get paranoid sometimes? Like you think, oh, I hope they don't think I'm like, you know.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, energy is everything, right?
Yeah.
So I think you can tell people's energy when you meet them. But definitely you want to make sure there's humility. It means a lot to me, and realness, you know. So I just kind of want to come correct. So I think, and I am Vanessa, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
I love that.
Vanessa first and then Vivi is my artist. So yeah, and I want you to get to know Vanessa and Vivi. It's kind of weird. It's like a dichotomy. I've got like two people going on in here. So
It's really interesting. How's your day been?
It's been all right. I came to London, had a meeting, and then drove here. It took me 2 hours to get here from West London.
That's crazy. Is it the traffic?
Just from West London, yeah. So it's been a lot of driving, but it's been good. I've been listening to music in my car. I find driving quite meditative. It's a real chance.
Really? Especially in London?
Well, London, I mean...
Do you drive an automatic or manual?
I drive a manual,
And you find it therapeutic? What's the word you said?
Meditative. I find it like... I do. Like if I've got a nice podcast or a nice album, or sometimes I even have TikTok on.
Wow.
And I'm like, just like,
Really?
yeah. But the thing is, I've got 2 young kids, you see. So the car, for me, is almost like a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, long driving is different from London because obviously you stop.
Stop.
Yeah. But I still find it a nice space to just think, and so yeah, I kind of enjoyed. It's been a meeting and a drive, so it's been all right.
What music are you listening to?
I'm loving Moonchild.
Oh, what's that? Is that an artist or album?
They're a Swedish band.
Oh, interesting.
They're amazing. They kind of like. They remind me of Little Dragon. Do you know the band Little Dragon?
Yeah,
from
no, I've
Sweden?
never heard of Little Dragon.
I was going to sing their song, but I need to stop.
It's,
No, I like when you do that.
sing.
But I love when you do that.
You can sing.
No, please. Because I was going to sing the chorus of one of their big songs.
Is it Twice? The ballad one?
You can actually
As
sing.
I turn my back on you.
Okay, that was beautiful. But no, it was... Radioactive. Is that them?
I don't know. If
I don't think it's them.
But they kind of like then they
Okay.
There's a nod if we want to go to the roots of where it began. There's a nod to like Erykah Badu.
Oh,
Do you
amazing.
remember Amel LaRue? All those kind of
Yeah.
old school neo soul pioneers. It's all in the mix. So Moonchild, loving them. So it's real relaxing music.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I'm listening to them at the moment, loving that. Yeah, and of course Erykah Badu is like my
Timeless.
Oh my
like
gosh.
I saw her at the Royal Festival Hall.
Wow.
I think it was earlier this year. It was the
Really?
most cosmic.
I'd love to see her live.
Oh my God. It was the best thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
Like I was crying, especially and
Really?
the vibe in the room, everyone was singing, her outfit. She's like the Black Bjork to me. Like her outfit was insane. Everyone was singing the words. I felt like I was at church.
Oh, what a feeling.
Kinda.
I like it when you're... Sorry, God. I like
Not
when
quite.
you're out of content, everyone feels the same. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Everyone's
Like,
on the same
because
vibe.
I kept telling Jasmine, if everybody on my road was feeling the Beyonce the way that I was feeling it, I would have cried. But I didn't cry because I knew I looked crazy in front of these people.
It's all right.
Because they weren't on the
Right.
same wave.
They weren't on the same wavelength.
That's so sad.
No.
Oh, what in the London?
No, my particular area.
Oh,
Because I was a little bit
right.
higher up. I think the fans, I didn't realise how much of a fan I was until I got there.
Right.
That was my
right,
issue.
Right.
But yeah, it's fine.
So you kind of had a kind of revelation moment. Like, wait a minute,
yes,
went crazy a bit.
exactly, yeah.
That's funny.
Exactly.
Speaking of Erykah Badu, have you guys seen what's it called? They Cloned Tyrone?
Oh my!
Clone?
Listen,
Wait.
listen.
The Netflix
Listen.
show with John
Listen.
Boyega
I
and
need to
Jamie
click.
Foxx. Yeah, we need to give it.
Took him on stage.
We need to give him. They applaud it.
Okay, guys, take me from the beginning. I'm out of the loop. I'm out of the loop.
All right, They Cloned Tyrone. It's a new Netflix show. I think it literally came on Netflix on Friday.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and it's just amazing.
Oh wow.
It is so good.
Incredible.
Wow.
So deep. I write for The Voice newspaper.
Oh really?
And I'm really tempted to write an essay on
You
it
should.
because
You should.
it is so powerful. And it's just, everybody, if you're listening, you have to watch it. There's such a message in there about control and how as Black individuals, we are controlled by a white bourgeoisie, as entity, a secret entity that seeps into our brain, our food, our lives, that we are subconsciously oppressed without even realizing it almost. It's so deep.
Yeah,
I
it is
could
really deep.
talk about it for
So is this why
hours.
John Boyega was on stage with her?
I think so, maybe.
Because I said, why? And sometimes I don't have time in my brain to connect the two.
yeah.
And then I saw the poster with Jamie Foxx.
Yes, he's
Yeah.
the pimp in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't want to give too much away.
Okay, I need to watch this.
You definitely do. I think you would really enjoy it, actually.
It's not scary.
It's not scary,
Okay.
no.
And you know what? His performance is incredible. The opening scene, I had to really look twice to
What, John or
John
Jamie?
to know it was him, because he's an American, but he personifies it
Yeah,
so well that he is not it himself.
Wow.
You know, when an actor can take you away from themselves,
Amazing.
like
Yeah.
fully,
Mm.
like he did that. I think it feels like awards for me.
Wow.
Yeah,
I need to
I
watch this.
agree.
Why did it go straight? No offense, Netflix. Why didn't you go to cinema?
You're saying,
That's what I
you're saying why
thought.
did Netflix have it?
Yeah, let's get the money up. Come on, Why
Yeah,
did it go straight to Netflix?
it's a good question. I asked that.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
But
Yeah.
to be fair, like I haven't looked into like who directed it, who wrote it or anything. But whoever it was, they did an amazing
So it's based on
job.
her song or based on her
No,
life?
do you know what? It's very random, but just at the end of the song, she sort of like reworks her classic Tyrone at the end and like does a new version of it to go with the film.
Yeah,
So yeah, it just connected
yeah.
the dots. for
Okay,
me.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm into
Yeah.
it. I'll check it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Check it out.
It's so good, Vic. It's so good.
Yeah,
Sounds cool. Let's get onto your podcast.
yeah.
Because before you started, you were talking about how you have a podcast that kind of like links to your latest project
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like talking about Blackness and British and all of that and kind of touches a little bit on what you were just saying about the John Boyega project. But yeah, tell us how that came about and why you wanted to do it.
Yeah, so this whole album that I'm releasing in October, and I haven't made an album for nearly 6 to 7 years. I took a break. And this whole album is diving in deep and exploring my identity as a Black British woman and in general, the definition of what it means to be Black British. And so every track on the record is that. And we have poets on the record. And it's just unapologetically diving in about Blackness, Black Britishness specifically, because we tend to talk about Americanisms, Black Americanisms. And so the podcast is a wing to this project where we explore it by speaking to people. I read some of my essays on it, talking about the culture. And it's just a whole 3-dimensional world. Like for me, this project isn't just about music. It's almost like a sociological study.
Wow.
And so yeah, I launched the podcast 2 weeks ago. And
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Launching is
Yeah.
also another, like some people underestimate how hard it is just to launch a podcast.
Yeah, I was nervous
Oh,
to
bless
do
you.
it. But you just have to just dive in deep. I've got the thing about this whole project as well is I don't have the same expectations that I had when I was releasing previous records. This is so much more and bigger than all of those things. So even if one person listens to it or loads of people, it's just part of, I want to just contribute to my culture. And yeah, just yeah, check it out. It's called Am I British Yet? I feel really bad like I'm plugging my podcast on
yeah,
the podcast. Okay, all right, I know. But
Listen, your manager's going to listen to this and be like, what? Why did you talk about X, Y, and Z? No, definitely talk about it.
Excuse me.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's called Am I British Yet? And every week, every Sunday it comes out. So yeah, please check it out.
What's it like being a host?
It's good. Like, you know what? It's I love people. I love meeting people. I love chatting. I could chat for days. You know, like I came in here, I'm Vanessa. Do you know what I mean? As well as, you know, Vivi and all that. But and yeah, it's great. It's interesting learning what to pull out of people and knowing the timings of when to do it and to be quick on associative subjects and stuff like that. But it's chatting, isn't it? And I'm really, really passionate about identity and my community deeply. So when we have these conversations, it's just natural. Things just come out, you know. And you learn so much about yourself as well. Like sometimes, you know, we've had some people that we've recorded that have challenged me and my own perspectives.
In what sense? Like, can you give us a little taste?
Yeah, it's just making me look at my own identity, my own blackness, what have I contributed during my career, even down to hair, you know. I'm on this journey of naturalness. I'm still not there yet. There's a whole podcast about that. Just loads of things that just make you look at yourself as a black person, a black woman. I don't know, ideas, all of it. So it's good. It's like therapy. It's like being on a couch with a therapist or friends, or sometimes not friends.
No, I can imagine. And I know like you have a song called Black British, and like I guess it's inspired by that as well.
Definitely.
And you talked about the struggle of being
absolutely, yep. Navigating, navigating through the beautiful and terrifying life, Black British, I think, do you know what? Throughout my career, I don't think people have seen this version of me, which has always existed. I've always been in mainstream music with Shark in the Water, which was a pop song. And then my other albums were electronic. And so for me, you know, I've always had this part of my personality that when I was in the machine, which was predominantly moved and governed by white men, I felt my blackness was muted. And so I don't feel like I was showing this part of my personality that existed in my everyday life when I was going home and seeing my parents and my cousins and having rice and peas and chicken and fried fish on Friday, soup, all that stuff was just quiet. That wasn't coming through my music. And so after 6 years and having kids and things, which can really like open you up when you have children, I just thought, you know what? I need people to see Vanessa, Vanessa Louise Brown. I mean, I'm married now, so I have to say Price, but I haven't changed. I haven't changed my name. Anyway, it's a slave name anyway, so that we're no business. So. But yeah, I just was like, I was ready for that to come out, you know. So yeah, I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it.
No, you're here now.
Yeah, it's interesting when you said, "What have you contributed?" But like as I said at the beginning, like I really loved your hairstyles when I was younger. like remember when you did like the shorter fringe and the rolled up fringe, and you had like a particular quite short bob.
Yeah,
I thought it was so cool. And I remember you saying that you know, like, should you change it? Like, what should you do? Does this need to be like your signature? Was that kind of pressure? As an artist?
There's definitely a pressure to be consistent when you've had a successful song. So Shark in the Water was probably my most successful song.
Do you still love singing that song?
I think
it's such a good song.
Do you get tired? Because you know some artists.
Do you know what? Yeah,
singing it live, you get tired.
Let me ask your opinion, because you've been in the game for a long time. Doja Cat, she said that she's sick of singing Say So. I'm like, that came out in lockdown. You've not even toured it in the UK. Some people here are telling you they've been in the game for a very long time.
20 years, me.
And she's not tired of her song yet.
And Beyonce is still singing to this day, Crazy in Love.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't, I think how lockdown, 3 years, you can't get tired after 3 years. Do you know what I mean?
Because she's performing it now, and apparently, like, I saw one clip and she looked really moody, and I was like, wow. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, no, you gotta respect your fans as well. Do you know what I mean?
She told us to fuck off. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been
Nah.
seeing, but she's basically just saying like, I don't know who told you to love me, but I don't love you.
Lord have mercy.
No,
She said, "Oh, you're calling
No.
yourself kittens? Get a job."
Oh wow. I
It's
don't
been-
know.
Yeah, honestly.
I
it's
don't
not
know.
cute.
You gotta
It's-
respect. You know, that's
Absolutely.
those songs. They affect people. They change people. Like I've had people come up to me with. I remember one particular story of someone that came up to me and I was crying. We were both
Oh.
crying. I was in Costa. I was pregnant and this woman came up to me and she said, and sometimes you don't realize what your music can do, like, which is why you have to respect your fans. She came up to me and she said, your album Glitch got me through cancer.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And she said there was one track called Fractured that helped me get up in the morning. And that was at a time in my career where you just think, oh, you know, like, I think I might quit. Like, and you hear that and you realize that your songs can touch people. Do you know what I mean? In ways that you don't even know. So you gotta be respecting.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, don't ever lose sight of that. Nah, man. So yeah, but anyway, getting all serious. But yeah.
Yeah, no, speaking of, because I know you do songwriting as well.
Yeah.
And if anyone is out like me out there, I always thought, yeah, I can write a song. I got this, you know. But when I actually think about it, how is the actual songwriting process? Is it a case of, you know, you have an idea or a feeling and then you start writing from the feeling? Do you hear the music first and then you write with the music? Or is it sort of, you know, some people, they can literally just hear a word and that just sparks creativity.
It depends. I think there's so many ways to spark that moment of creativity. I have a method that works for me. I believe that melody is king and I'm always led by melody. And I believe that the melody then tells me what the words and tones and feelings are. Sometimes I get inspired by lyrics, but it's usually for me melody first.
Yeah.
I'm real visual. So if I'm in the studio, I have a huge projector in my studio where I play visuals. So for this album and my British share, we were playing loads of archive footage of Windrush and black beauty, beautiful blackness, like black British culture in a positive way and negative. And I would just spend hours sometimes just watching it, the visuals, to get into the universe of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, for me it's melody. But I also journal a lot.
Yeah.
So I think journaling is good. Like if you get a moment where you feel something or you see something or you smell something or there's a little ant that's walked by and I just journal all the time. And then you look back on that in those moments. But I think the most important thing when you're writing music, and I used to lecture at Goldsmiths University, and I would tell this to the students, is freedom. You have to be open. You have to be fearless. You have to go in the studio and just be completely vulnerable and let it flow. Because that's when you can connect to something higher than yourself.
Do you ever get embarrassed? Like in this, I'm saying the thing is maybe it's because I'm one with no talent. Yeah.
What?
But no.
You know what,
Come
yeah?
on
Sorry, I meant like I can't
today.
sing.
You're
I
not
can't.
gonna do
No.
this today.
Sorry,
Oh,
I meant sorry.
I
I meant I
was
can't
about to
sing
say,
or rap or nothing like that.
You were about to get told off.
Sorry. So I can't even imagine, going into the studio. I'll be so shy. Like everyone get out. Like everyone get out. And like even the thought of like people having headphones listening to me sing or like the thought of like people being like, oh, run that again. Because I think it's what was wrong with the first one?
Yeah. You know, like when P. Diddy was on Keisha Cole's neck when she was singing last night.
What was that?
Yeah.
I'm so disconnected. What was going on?
No, but so Diddy and Keisha Cole have a song called Last Night, and she was in the studio singing. There's literally a video going around, and she can sing.
Yes.
So he's
Keisha.
there.
I know Keisha.
Yeah. So he's telling her.
I know her.
He's like, no. He was like, do you want this or no? Sing it like this. And obviously he can't sing. So he's actually saying, sing it like this and going, And I'm like,
what are you doing? How am I supposed to interpret that?
Do you know what? That would be okay for me because I'd be looking at you like you can't even sing. Do you know what I mean? Like, but do you ever get shy? Like, do you feel like, oh my days, there's all these people
Well, you know what? I don't like to work with loads of people. Do you know what I mean? Like every single album I've ever made has always been with like one or two producers, and usually it's one and me and that person in the room. So it's usually intimate. But I don't get shy. Do you know?
Amazing,
I think you train yourself because I've been doing this since I was 13. 13, I think I got offered my first deal. And I grew up in church. So I'm a church girl where you were in the choir and then you'd have to sing on the stage and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, you just learn it just becomes a bit normal. But I tell you what, I get shy. I get really, really, really shy when I'm around people who are like well known in their fields. So say if I was in the room with, I did a session once with Damon Albarn, and I've done like sessions with like well-known people, you know, like celebrities. I get, you know, musicians, and that's when I get super nervous.
But they must get nervous around you too.
Oh God, I have imposter syndrome. I almost feel like, am I supposed to be here? I'm from Northampton, kind of thing. And I get so nervous, and then I don't. That's when I'm closed and I don't like open up as much. So I think I need to get over that, like feeling like I belong in those spaces. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like if, say, Stormzy said to me, come on, let's do a session.
As they should respect the people that have been there before you. Christ.
Well, you know what? I have been there longer than a lot of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but I'd still feel nervous because
I feel like he would make you feel like because he seemed like someone, whenever I see him with like people, he's always showing people respect.
He's very warm, isn't he? There's a scene, I watched his documentary or whatever. There was one scene where I thought, he's seems like a gorgeous is the right word, like gorgeous person, like inside. When he was in church with his mum. Did you see that? And he was the way he was singing the church songs with his mum and like the way he treats his mum. I thought,
he's a good man, Savannah.
You're a good man. So Stormzy, if you're listening to this, just holler. So
you should make a song. Yes, we need that.
But I get nervous with that. But yeah,
are there any other UK artists that you like?
Loads. Obviously, we were talking before we started recording with Ray. Like, I think that she's phenomenal. And just her strength, her talent, her perseverance. It's really, really beautiful to see because the thing is, I'm been in this game for a long time. So when you see younger artists, and I mean, I am older than these guys. When you see younger artists owning themselves, it's really magical to me because I remember when I set up my own label in 2012 because I felt very much like Ray, like I wasn't being elevated to the level that I should be as a Black artist in England. There's a ceiling for us. And so when I set up my own label and everyone told me I was crazy to do it, to leave the major, set up my own label and release and own my masters. I did that in 2010 or 2011. So when I see younger artists doing that same thing and then smashing it, it's so inspiring. So I love her for many reasons. I love Ray. There's loads. Mahalia.
Oh, she's amazing.
She's amazing. Jacob Collier, I love. Sorry.
No, her latest project's really good.
Yeah.
Mahalia's latest project. Stormzy's on there. He's everywhere. He's with Ray as well. Anyways,
so yeah, there's oh God. Camille. I love Camille.
Yes. Am I missing out? Who's that?
She
just had a baby.
She had a baby. She's a songwriter.
Oh yeah, she's very talented.
Like really talented songwriter. And I feel like we talk a little bit online, but I feel like she's like, this is a bit creepy if I say this, but I feel like she's the best friend I haven't met yet.
Oh, that's
you know what I mean?
That is so sweet. Yeah.
Like she's so lovely and she's so talented and I love what she's doing. So yeah, there's so much talent. Oh, I can't forget Labrinth.
So talented.
Labrinth. And he is a pure example of this country having a ceiling for us. And him going to America and smashing it. And for me, I felt the same. Like we sold over 1 million records in America. But in England, it always felt like...
Yeah, what do you think the issue is? Because I feel like it's very well known, and it's like what is the problem?
Do you know what? I don't know. I think we don't have enough ownership of our own industry. I feel it's happening now.
Yeah.
The community
slowly changing a bit.
Yeah, the community is coming together, and there is more ownership over labels, podcast shows, TV shows. Like you go on YouTube and it's a joy to see this ownership over our creativity, but our business. In America, they've had that evolution of Black business for a long time. So you've got BET and all these kind of places and spaces to support Black talent in a way that can catapult them into mainstream. Because that hasn't happened in this country. And we've had to rely on white A&Rs, white gaze, white perspectives with our music, not understanding our talent, all the sort of jargon. She's singing a bit too much. She's a bit intimidating. She's a diva. But then your white counterparts do the exact same thing, and then they sell loads of all of that stuff. I think has influenced us not being able to reach our potential. But when you see the Rays and the Stormzy's and the ownership and Wretch 32 with the Def Jam label and all this amazing stuff happening, it's just so exciting that the ceiling is slowly getting higher. And there you go. You sell out Wembley. You headline Glastonbury. It's happening before our eyes. And me being an oldie, I call myself an oldie.
That's all.
It's just beautiful to see because back then I didn't have that.
Yeah. But do you know what what's interesting when you said like getting your own masters and stuff like that? When was the moment you knew about all that stuff? Maybe because I'm not a musician, but I remember when I heard about it with Taylor Swift, and I was like, if it's happening to this white girl who I feel like would have like, I feel like she would have like people who would advise her, be like, if it's happening to her, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what is happening to all my favorite Black artists? Like,
yeah. I think, I've had many failures. Do you know what I mean? I signed to 2 record deals before Shark in the Water came out. So I learned a lot from the failures. Failure's good. If you're failing, don't worry. Learn from it, live in it, because your season is coming. Do you know what I mean? So I learned about that from the failures and learning about the business. And I remember I negotiated myself out of my first record deal myself. I pretended to be a lawyer.
Really?
Yeah, in a FedEx office. I didn't have any money.
Sorry, it was just the last thing I expected.
I remember.
Sorry, that's one of the hardest things to imitate.
Listen,
a lawyer.
It was LA. It was 2 a.m. I didn't have no money. I needed to get out of this deal. So I messaged the guy, the lawyer at the label, and pretended to be somebody else. I set up a new email address, said I was representing, and I found the clauses and everything that would get me out of the deal. But yeah, so I learned slowly. And then I got to a point when I was in I think it was 2012 or 2011, 12, where I was like, wait a minute, this don't make no mathematical sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're spending all this money that I have to then pay back. And then my royalty split is this. And then I've taught, it's like it ended up that really it doesn't fall in the favor of the artist ever, really. Yeah. And then I was like, how can I make more sustainability for myself, more money for myself? And then I started to research more about it. And then I was like, I need to have ownership of my own business. And the thing is, it's funny because even though I might not have sold as many records, my economic stability and power has been better. I've managed to create a very good financial life for myself because I own my stuff. Do you know what I mean? So it's all relative. Do you know what I mean? And so I'm not really chasing after the glitz and glam anymore. For me, it's about the art and it's about the business and making sure that I can have a life that is, nice.
It's like, very important.
Don't need the bling. I've never been that kind of girl, but as long as I can pay my bills.
But that's the thing, because you could have all what's it, bling, bling, whatever. But if you're not thinking about how can I keep this in-house?
Yes.
And you're not even making that much money, realistically, if it's not in-house, it's such a scary thought.
Yeah. So many artists.
I can't even believe that.
Yeah, so many artists who you think are wealthy, they're not.
That's scary.
It's all a show. You look at the books, look at the numbers. Obviously, the Beyoncés of the world and all of that stuff, but so many artists are not. They're struggling and it looks like they're not. And so you got to be smart. Do you know what I mean? You've got to, and that's why I respect Ray, because a lot of artists nowadays are doing it. They're waking up and they're like, wait a minute, a record label's just like a bank. So why should I but if I go to a bank, the interest rate's probably better than what I'm going to get from a label. So why don't I just do this myself? I can do a Kickstarter or a GoFund or wait a minute. Do you know what I mean? There's so many other ways to think about it, or, you know, but my dream, I'm a bit of a chat box.
No, please. No, that's what we need. Yeah.
My dream though is I would love to get all of these incredible Black women together to set up our own label.
Like you did.
No, but imagine if it was the Motown of like Britain or something.
I think we need that because we have like Disturb in London.
Yeah.
We have Stormzy's one.
Yeah,
Murky and Def, whatever, 27, I can't remember.
Imagine an all-female.
Yeah, it's needed. I think it's needed.
All-female one where we're supporting female grime artists as well. There's so many talented female grime artists that I feel like aren't getting that, you know, so much. And Black female singers, not singers, singers, like, you know, this, and you know, I look at Adele and I'm like, yeah, you're great and you were full-figured, but how many Black women are like that in church? You can blow bigger.
That's true.
You know, let's get it. So anyway,
it's true.
I will stop moaning, but
No,
own your business.
We definitely need that. But I think sometimes people might get like blindsided by the glitz. So they might be like, oh my God, Warner want to partner with me. And then you don't even see it because, and you know what's so crazy? When you said that there's some artists like that who you would never notice, I'm just thinking to myself, so you wake up, you go to the studio and everyone's like singing, like, I'm going to use Meg Thee Stallion as an example, as we know that she was in that 360 deal. I think she's out now.
Right.
But it's like people are probably being like her family members, yo Meg, come pay my bills.
All of it.
Probably think, I don't have money. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's quite embarrassing as well,
oh
isn't
my
it?
gosh. And then
It's actually terrifying.
people that are working, you're going from state to state, city to city, doing tours, doing interviews, and you're not
seeing none of that money.
And everybody else is paying their mortgage because of you.
Yeah.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like everyone's getting a paycheck and at the end of the day, you're not getting as much as you should for the work that you're putting in. So
It's too evil. And like even like to take it there, like does Diddy own like someone's masters or something?
He probably
I know Pharrell owns Khaleesi's.
Like as a Black person, do you not feel like, let me just bust you one? Like, okay, I know like these are the rules, but you're my boy. Let me just slide it to you.
Yeah, it's almost, I don't know, there's just something so interesting about owning someone else's master.
The word master.
And the word.
Yeah.
The word
It's very,
master.
All I can say is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, that is so interesting to me.
Because the Scooter Braun one, apparently he had an interview and he was like, listen, with the Taylor Swift situation, and he was like, she knew what she signed up for. But I'm like, but she was very young.
Yeah.
He was like, she knew what she was signed up for. And like, this is not I'm not the first person who's done this. This is very common. And I'm like, okay, but if that person's really challenging you that they want it back and now they have to re-record all their music, surely you would be like, but it's so, oh my days. I find it so fascinating.
It's, I tell you what, it's to do with a very archaic law of music that goes all the way back to when they used to sell manuscript paper. And what's happened is that as the music industry has developed and evolved, the actual historical beginning of buying music, the distribution and selling of music has not really changed that much. And now we're going into this streaming culture where this very archaic way of ownership is carrying on into streaming culture. So the industry definitely needs a massive disruption, but the disruption will come from the artists.
Yeah,
the artists have the power to know their business, know their worth, to be patient, and to don't be bedazzled by all of that stuff. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You can get that stuff eventually. get a little piece of money, invest in property. Do you know what I mean? Like, just be smart. So I think it's a really good time.
That's so interesting that you said like invest in property, because I feel like if a record label was like this a bit has 50K, I'm blowing it. Like I can't even imagine how many artists I'm going Harrods, and I hope the paparazzi. I'm gonna call the paparazzi. Make sure you see me with with the yellow bags.
Oh my god,
get me with the yellow bags. Like get me with the yellow bags.
That's funny.
Because you're thinking this is a one-time lifetime opportunity. I'm probably thinking, what if my next record don't blow?
But if you invest,
that's how they get people.
If I invest, if I was smart,
if you invest,
that's exactly how they get people, because they know, like, especially if you get someone that's quite young and even someone that's blown up quite sort of unexpectedly. Say they've gone viral on TikTok, for example. Record label comes in, we can do this, that, and the other, and we'll give you 50K up front. Most people are gonna be like,
well, hopefully that will change.
Hopefully.
Do you know what I mean? Put it in property, let it the equity increase, make it go up to 100, and then take 20 out and go to Harrods.
Okay.
I'm not teasing, but you know.
But we were talking earlier about like music videos and like how we don't really see them as much. Has it influenced your decision? Like with your next project, are you going to have as much music videos? Like what are you thinking?
You know what? It's such a good question. I feel like music videos don't have the same power as they used to, unless there's a like monumental thing happening, like Stormzy's video where everyone was in it. Or I think the future is visualizers, like small videos on TikTok. So I did 2 music videos, Black British and Twisted, but this third single, we're going to do more powerful visualizers. And I think when you're an independent artist, you have to be quite smart about how you distribute your funding. So yeah, the music videos they don't seem to be as I don't know, appealing. I mean, what do you think? Do you guys, when you hear a track, do you get attracted by a music, or is it more just TikTok and streaming?
Has finished my life.
Yeah, TikTok
because I watch films on TikTok at this point.
Really?
Yeah, they're like part 1.
I don't know.
I don't know how when you can't find the part 2.
Yeah,
I don't know how you're.
They want me to follow them, and I'm never gonna do it.
I feel like TikTok has done the opposite for me. I get so impatient. So it's like if I see that your video is like 3 minutes long, I'm like, okay.
But you can speed up the voice.
Oh,
you
can speed it?
So times 3, and you can watch it in 30 seconds.
What, like a chipmunk?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Talking of chipmunk, this is so stupid. But my boyfriend was like, oh, where is Chipmunk nowadays? I was like, oh, he goes by Chip. And he was like, and then he goes, why is he going by Chip? And I was like, maybe he's to be more mature. And then we both started laughing because
why would Chip be more mature?
Like, yeah, he still is making music. He was he not in a rap beef recently?
I think so. I saw that.
Back and forth.
Something like that.
I can't remember.
It's quite well, didn't it?
But he's a very talented rapper.
Very talented and nice. Seems like a nice.
You've made a song with him, right? Have you ever got? I feel like
No. I would, but but I've not done that. To be honest with you, do you know what I mean? I spent a lot of time in America. So
how many years did you say? Was it 6 or 7?
7 years in America, and I did about 2-3 years in France because we had a number 1 in France. We did really well in France. How was that like, having a number 1 in the country? You do speak French at all? A little bit. But
how's that? That must be crazy.
It was so unexpected. We kind of went to France for fashion. We did a fashion week thing. And then it just snowballed. And then it just clicked. So it was strange. But they really do love Black artists in France. Wow. There's a massive love of African music in France. I felt more at home, to be honest, in France than I did here.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I'll never forget when they said that we had a number 1 and we were in this little restaurant and we were eating like French onion soup and the guy said it, and to be honest, I was like in a daze. But I never could sit still. I never could sit still in it. Yeah. I was like, okay, like what's next?
Oh, really?
Like,
even in France?
What's next? Because you just have this anxiety of having to like, okay, we got that, tick the box, out the box. What's next? What's next? We got to keep it going. Got to keep it moving. So I look back on that time in my life. I don't ever remember sitting in it and just enjoying it. It was always trying to hustle.
That's crazy.
A lot of people are guilty of that. I think even us to an extent, because, you know, when the podcast has reached certain milestones, I feel like we haven't I'll speak for myself, but I haven't really sat in it and been like, wow, this is really amazing.
Yeah,
it's
like,
just
well
more like,
done.
Yeah, like not really patting yourself on the back, like, yeah, this is great. And then it's sort of like, okay, so what now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to learn to sit in it, I think, sometimes. I think having kids has made me be more present. And I look back on the past and think, do you know what? I wish I just looked around the room slowly and just like took it in, like, oh my God, Queen Latifah's over there. And just like, just lived in it a bit more. So yeah, I've forgotten what we were talking about now.
Wait, where did you live in America?
LA. And a bit of New York.
LA.
Got a P. Diddy story about that.
P. Diddy.
Was it, what's his name now?
Puff?
Love.
Diddy?
Love.
I think I heard you went by Love one time. No, I swear to God, guys.
Yeah.
I think Love. Love. P. Diddy. What was his name? Is he P. Diddy Puff?
Sean
Combs.
You're
else?
making that one up.
No.
That Combs is real. Combs is real.
Combs.
Yeah.
What else did he go by?
That's it, isn't it?
Is your P. Diddy story safe to say on the podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
Is. So he wanted to sign me.
No way.
And he flew.
God, he would have had you working all day.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He would have been telling you how to sing.
I said
the D.
No, he flew me out and I stayed in the Dream
flew
Hotel.
out.
The Dream Hotel, yeah. And then I had to perform for him and he had all his entourage and he had a camera crew with him the whole day. And he offered me a deal, but I didn't take it because I knew that he just signed Janelle Monáe. And I remember we were a little bit similar and I thought, I wonder if he's trying to protect his asset. Like I wonder if he's trying to protect his signing.
You were so smart.
Yeah, that was really smart.
So I just
because I would have thought maybe he's gonna make us two of us shine together.
I know.
You would have been thinking power couple, power.
Well, I
because if he's done it with her, he'll do me.
But no, I was more
so smart.
Because like if he's invested a lot in one and he sees maybe he's going to take me, shelve me. And I'd already experienced it a bit. So I thought, do you know what? I'm really flattered, but I'm going to go with Island. But he was cool. He was super duper cool. Like he was really, really down to earth actually. Like I really liked him as a person. I mean, I didn't get to know him proper. But yeah, he had a camera crew, everything. I think he has it with him all the time. Just documenting his life.
Yeah, because we watched what's that show called? Making the Band.
Making the Band.
Did you ever watch that?
Oh, I saw. Yeah, I watched that. That was.
I just remember feeling so sorry for everyone because it was like literally you're sleeping on bunk beds, waking up and like it's time to sing, it's time to shine, and it was times where it got so like intimidating when people like get head to head and like oh my God, it was crazy. Yeah. But I did really like that girl band that he made, Dante Kane.
Yeah, they were good.
So good.
They were good.
So
yeah.
good.
They're really good, but I'm loving Flow.
I love them.
Yeah, I do like. I think they're really. It took me a while. If I'll be honest, it took me a while to warm into it, but because at first I was like, I'm not sure. And then there was this live performance that they did. It was like a video live performance.
Was it the Vivo one?
I think there's a Vivo one, and I thought, yeah, this is great. Yeah, they're really good. And then I was really desperately trying to write for them. I think I got in touch with the A&R. I got in touch with them. I had a whole heap of girl songs for that. I was like, I'd love to write with them.
We should make that happen. Yeah. Hello, if possible.
Excuse me, Flo, if you're out there listening to this, can you please get in touch? Hello at yoirecords.co.uk.
Honestly, that would be so cool.
Shameless plug.
No, yeah, that would be so cool. Because do you know what's crazy? When you said that you wasn't getting into it and stuff, a lot of people have told me that they're not really into it. But I've heard like people say like, oh, because it's like they have like a particular sound and it just sounds like that sound. And they have I know they write with Emanike.
Yeah.
But my thing is,
project, I think.
I like Flow because I love Emanike.
Yeah.
So like, I'm obsessed with Emanike's music. So I resonate with it a lot in Flow. But a lot of people are like, I don't like that. Like, I need them to have like a different writer. So maybe, you know.
I mean, I think they're great. What I would love, if I was to write for them, I would love to write them like a real strong ballad with some space. So, you know, Beyonce, Destiny's Child, what's that?
Girl?
You're my girl. Yeah. Something like that. There's not too much riffing and
Overlap,
stuff on it.
Yeah.
It's just the melody has clarity but it's still soulful.
Yeah.
But it's got that crossover appeal.
Oh, they need that.
And it's just, I got a whole heap of them. Just calm.
I feel like give them, because they're young. They're like 21 or something.
Yeah.
They need something to transition them when they're going to their
next record.
25 to 30.
Yeah.
Maybe they need you for that.
Have they got an album out yet?
They only have EPs.
Okay, so it's coming.
Yeah.
They're doing very well in America. I follow them on TikTok. So.
And it's crazy. That's how they blew up from TikTok.
Yeah.
I remember when their first video came out, and I remember messaging on TikTok. I was like, "Are you not British?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "This is bizarre."
They're giving American.
Yeah, I really thought they were American.
Like early Destiny's Child.
That's the
kind of.
But do you think that pressure is too much? Because of that, people like whenever they do a live performance, some performance of every artist may not be that good or might be mic checks, whatever problem. People are like, oh my God, these are the people that you're calling the next Destiny's Child. But it's like the pressure is too much. These are just baby girls. Come on.
Yeah. I think it would be a huge pressure. I mean, Beyonce is like the biggest star in the world, and they were like the biggest girl group in the world. But they are channeling that, so people are going to naturally associate themselves to it. But yeah, I mean, everything goes in cycles. Do you know what I mean? Where there's a pocket in the industry for something, someone's going to fill it. Do you know what I mean?
True.
Like Dua Lipa, to me, she's the new Kylie. We didn't have a Kylie.
Oh my God, that's
so she's
so
like
true.
the model. Like wherever there's a pocket, someone's going to fill it. And the way to make money is what that pocket is. And when it's missing, sign someone and fill it. Like,
that's very smart.
and then it usually works. But yeah, I mean, the pressure, it's pressure anyway when you're a young artist. But I think they'll do, if they have the right songs, and Memonike is an amazing.
So good.
I remember he messaged me when he was 13 on MySpace. I messaged him the other day. I said, do you remember when you messaged me? This is how old I am. I feel so old. He messaged me and he sent me a link to his songs. And we had this little dialogue where it's like, you're really talented. Like, keep going. And he was 13. He was so talented at 13. He was on it, like hustling.
Imagine
like,
at 13. The
like
things
13,
I was 14. The things I was doing at 13. I was not a serious somebody. No.
Jazz was listening to Pretty Ricky.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was sleeping.
Yeah, he's special. He's really talented, isn't he?
Amazing.
He's been at it for a long time. So, but yeah, I do like Emily.
I don't know if you've heard Flo's latest song called what is it? The Three of Us.
Yes, I've heard it. Yeah.
If MUK did not write that, I'd be very shocked if he didn't. But I can hear him in that so much. Like that song is so perfect. Like it's giving like Brandy, Monica vibes.
Yeah.
So good. We've got a jet soon, but maybe give it like 2 minutes before Brent gets us out real quick.
Yeah.
But have you guys seen a Barbie film?
I have indeed.
Oh, Jasmine, you have? Okay.
I'm slacking.
Let's not talk about it.
No, you can.
No, it's not something you should spoil.
Really?
I think
It's excellent. It's excellent.
Really? Okay.
Did you like it?
Loved it.
I'll say some adjectives.
We gotta go now, guys.
Oh.
Yeah, say the adjectives.
Amazing, thought-provoking. Was that what it is?
Yeah.
Thought-provoking, powerful, feminism, disruptive.
I've seen Anti-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Good.
Anti-Man. I was shouting. There's one speech in the cinema where I was clapping and shouting.
Wow.
And I'm in Milton Keynes in the countryside, so I was the only one.
I'm looking forward to it.
Anyways, guys, you can catch Vanessa on socials. What are your socials?
Yep. Just go to Instagram, Vivi Brown Official, at Vivi Brown on Twitter, TikTok's Vivi Brown Official, www.vivibrown.com. Just Google Vivi Brown, everything will come up.
Google.
All right. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Black Girls Living, and catch us at Black Girls Living without the G on all socials.
Bye, guys. Have a blessed week. Bye.
Bye-bye.